Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MySpace podcast. I'm your host, Miley, and today I'll be reviewing the book Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. First off, I want to give a little warning about this book and consequently this video. So, this book is not in any way PG-13, and it's an adult book, like I'll talk about later. But the point is that I'm about to make is that this book has a very big sex idea that it surrounds. It's a big part of the book, but I want you to know so that if you decide to read the book, you're not surprised. So yeah, I'm going to try not to focus on it, but the book focuses on it, and I think it's a good thing to focus on. Also, it is really hard for me to talk about or put in the sexual it's difficult, so I'm doing it to help you guys know what this book is about. Oh, this is also really why it's a hard book for me to talk about, but anyways, let's get into it, shall we? Rating 10 out of 10. I love this book so much, and I don't even know why I do. I just love it. And this book isn't something that a lot of people would think that I would like or even read, and yet here I am, and I love it so much. And the plot wasn't just sex, like I kind of said in the warning. There were other things going on. I can't explain it without saying everything, so just read it. But I loved it. It was nice. Yeah, it's weird, because also there's some books that are like this that I don't like, but I love this book. Also, Olive and Adam from The Love Hypothesis are in this book, so that was cool. When I actually start reading all these books, I should probably honestly read them in, like, how they were put out or something, but who cares? Anyways, yeah. POV. First person, all in scarlet, and there's a chapter at the very end, and it's kind of like the epilogue, which is from Lucas's point of view. Genre, romance. It's a sports romance. There's some science stuff in it, but it doesn't take up the whole thing. And it's an adult book. Very adult. Now to the plot and storyline. It's kind of short. So, in this book, Scarlett, the main character, is still recovering from a big injury she had. She's a diver. Not a driver. She's a diver. And by recovering, I mean she can still dive now. She's fully recovered, at least physically, maybe not mentally. But she can't do the dive that she was doing when she had her injury, which was an inward dive. It's a tongue twister here. Also, they're at Stanford. That's where this book takes place. So, her friend and the captain, who was the captain of the diving team, Penelope, breaks up with her long-term boyfriend, Lucas, who was the captain of the swimming team. It's over a lot of things. Yeah, a small part of it is sexual preferences, but it's a lot of little things to just come together and make a big one. Now, and this is when Scarlett kind of comes in. Anyway, Scarlett and Penn talk about sexual preferences at one point at the very beginning of this book, and Penn drunkenly mentions it to Lucas and says that the two of them, Scarlett and Lucas, should have sex. Now, they do end up doing this, but it's of their own accord, so Penn just kind of made them, in a way, notice each other, but they'd already noticed each other. Yeah, but she kind of pushed them together, but they decided to do it on their own terms. Yes. Now, Lucas and Scarlett are also working on a project together. I believe it's a biology thing. Yeah. But that's not really focused on. Also, throughout this book, Scarlett is seeing a therapist because of her injury, which I probably should have mentioned in the beginning when I said she's recovered from injury, but as the competitions start wrapping up and they're getting closer to the Olympics, Scarlett's and Lucas's relationship also starts to heat up. She realizes that she's in love with him, but she's too scared to tell him because of Penelope, who's like her best friend now. And Lucas, we already know he's in love with her, like, we can tell. Things happen at the very end, but then they end up together. Like, of course. This is a very rundown version of the plot, but that's basically what happened. Also, there's a lot more that happens in the plot. There's a lot more that's just very rundown. There's not... yeah, there's a lot more. Scarlett now. Okay, oh my gosh, I love Scarlett. She's a perfectionist and very focused on school and diving. Yeah, can feel that. She wants to get into med school. And she's super smart, so, like, of course she's going to be able to get in. She just doesn't think she is. Anxious, anxiety, feel that. She's also really kind and doesn't want to hurt anybody. She has so much on her plate and so much pressure on her. Like, I don't know how she deals with it. Like, I don't know how I deal with what I go through. She's scared of attempting something and not being perfect at it, which we realize is what is stopping her from being able to do that inward dive. She's just, in general, a really relatable character. And I don't think I've related this much to a character in a while, or, like, ever. And that may be why I like this book so much. She also doesn't have a lot of friends, which is also relatable. I have friends. And I have friends. Sure, they're more than she does, but I don't need to keep going on that. I don't think. Yes, she's recovering from her injury. She can't do an inward dive, but it's really eating at her throughout this whole book. And there's so much more I could say, but my mind is going blank. I feel like there's so much more about her. Ugh. Anyways, yes, Lucas. Oh my god. Like, why do these guys why do they like know everything about the girl. They just like see her and they're like, oh my gosh, this, that. Like, he can tell when she's hungry. He can tell when she isn't feeling good. He knows everything. I'm like, how? How can you do that? He's obsessed with her too. He listens to everything she says and he remembers everything. He also watches her dive, which he didn't do with Penn. With Penn, he wasn't at all interested in diving or anything about the sport. But with Scarlett now, he's like, he watches her. Like, he kind of hides in the shadows and watches her. I think he went and actually learned what the dives were, especially the inward dive, when she mentioned it to him. So, like, he's basically just in love with her. And actually, he's kind of the one who helped her be able to go and actually accomplish the inward dive for, like, the first time since the injury. So, yeah. He's also basically been after her since the first time he saw her. But he was with Penn back then. Penelope. That's... But then they broke up and he was all like, now I can finally go be with her. Gosh, I love him so much. Also, he's Swedish. Anyways, there's more you can say about him. I don't. My brain's blinking. Now on to Penelope. She has some problems, but she is really sweet. At least in most of the book. She's blinded by what she thinks and sees. Like, she still thinks of Lucas as the 16-year-old boy she met. She doesn't really see beyond that, and she can't really see how the things she says actually hurts people. Like, she says some things and it hurts Scarlett. And it's like, yeah. But she has this thought that okay, so first she's all like, he's the love of my life, and she has this thought that, so they'll break up, and then they'll just get back together in the future, because they're meant to find each other. Like, they're meant for each other. But that's not true, and we can all see it. Yeah. And she knows literally nothing about him. Like, she doesn't know who his siblings are. She also had to pry, like, things out of him. With Scarlet, he's way more open. But, or you should be on pen. But yeah, like, Scarlet, she, like, basically memorized who his brothers were when she saw a picture of them on his workspace. But Pen, she doesn't know anything about them, really. And she also says that he's basically emotionless and his range of emotions is narrow, but, like, Scarlet knows that's not true. So yeah, like, Pen's just hung up on what could have been, and she's just protective and stuff. It's a whole lot. But apart from all this, she is really kind. She's best friends with Scarlet, and she understands diving things that, honestly, Lucas really wouldn't know, but also would know. They're really close. Her and Pen. Scarlet and Pen are really close. Also, she's relatable in the way that she's literally kind to everyone, which I'm too, or at least I try to be. So she does have some relatability and stuff. She just has problems of her own, which I'll get into in the spoiler section. But yeah, it's a whole lot with her. But yeah, spoilers now. The ending. Oh my gosh. So, Scarlet wins the NCAA, and that's basically just like a that's a really big swimming competition. And Lucas goes to congratulate her. Pen, and by congratulate, I mean, like, they kiss. This is in the locker room, I believe. Pen sees this, and she also sees how much Lucas is in love with Scarlet, and she kind of just flips out. And she's all like, she's trying to take him away from me. She took away my medal. She's, like, trying to take everything away from me. So she's, like, really angry. And also the other girls on the team are there. Now, mind you, Pen had decided that she didn't want anyone to know that her and Lucas had broken up yet. So they don't know. So then they get angry at Scarlet because, you know, it looks like cheating, of course. It looks like Lucas is cheating on Penelope and he's cheating with Scarlet, which is not true. Now, then there's a whole fight, and Pen's just now angry at, like, all of them. Now, this causes a whole lot of things. Scarlet doesn't go up to retrieve her gold medal, and she actually leaves to go be with her stepmom in St. Louis. So, I think, in Washington. And Scarlet, also, after the whole thing with Pen, like, seeing this, Lucas tells Scarlet that he loves her, and Scarlet's still super scared because she doesn't want to hurt Penelope. So she runs away. Yeah. But then she decides that she does want to go be with him. Pen comes to Washington to apologize to her. And she forgives Penelope. Because they are friends later. Still best friends later. Anyways, Scarlet flies to Sweden to surprise Lucas, but it wasn't a surprise because he can track her location. And then they end up getting back together, and that's basically the end. That vlog, it wasn't too bad. It says that they're gonna get married and stuff. Yeah, it was kind of short and small, but it was cute. They have a cat, and yeah. I was okay with the ending. They were in med school, I guess, so I'm guessing, or something. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of it. And I feel like I'm, like, downplaying how much I love this book and how good it is. But I just, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what else to say. And, like, I'm really uncomfortable saying some of these things, so it's hard. And it's just, there's so much more that I could say that's not a part of what makes me uncomfortable to talk about. But that's just what happens with me in books I love. And like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this book, and somebody's gonna ask me. Then somebody asks me like, what's the book about? I'm like, yeah. Everything just goes poof. And I just finished this book like an hour-ish ago. Ugh. I just don't remember anything of what I read, but I remember everything I read, you know? I love this book so much, though. Literally in love with it. It's my favorite Ali Hazelwood book. Literally my favorite. And I've read so many of her books so far. I have another book that I should read, because I have it, and I've read it a couple times, so I should make a video of it. Because I have it, you know? If I have it, I should read it. Exactly. That's how it works. That's also a cute book. I believe at one point it's mentioned in one of her books, too. It's also a cute book. I love that book. I also understand that in a lot of these books, I don't understand anything because it's not like in my wheelhouse, but who cares? Yeah. So I guess I know what my next book is gonna be. Oh, but I love this book so much, and I really, 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 really need it in a paperback or anything. Like, just need it. Because I have to read it all. I have to like wait for it to be available. Yeah. But yes, so if anybody wants to like get me something, like a present or anything, get me Deep End, please. Also, if you want to make it even more special, get it with painted edges. If you can find a book, if you can find one with painted edges, you can probably find one with painted edges. Just love this book so much. And I don't want to like, I want to get it myself, I want to go buy it myself, but I don't want to spend my money. So that's my problem. I don't like spending money. Because I want to spend it on other books, to get new books, to read new books, you know? But honestly, I don't know if you understood anything of what I just said, but yes. Anyways, that's it for this video. I just like full on rambled for 2 minutes. But anyways, thank you for watching. I literally love this book, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, so thank you. Have a good rest of your day, night, week, month, year, life. Thank you. Bye.